Hello everyone. This screencast on research design is supposed to supplement the previous screencast on research methods and perspectives in general. So, for this brief one, do you remember what we said what human development is about? It's about lifespan changes. It's about studying human beings as they change throughout life in these various domains. How exactly are those changes or effects of age best measured? This is really what we're going to address looking at research design. Within that, we're going to look at longitudinal studies, which basically observe or test a group of individuals at each of several time points longitudinally, versus cross-sectional studies, which take a different approach to the same end, but looking at groups of different ages at the same time period. We're going to come back to this slide, but for now, imagine that you wanted to answer that previous question we had posed. How does a child learn language or vocabulary with age? If you wanted to look at it longitudinally, you could follow a particular child and, say, give him or her assessments of vocabulary at 16 months, 24 months, 36 months, etc., and look at the number of words per hour, say, that child emits. So you could see here that at a certain point, about 16 months, there's this explosion in language, and that is true for most children. They start acquiring words at an incredible rate. And again, that is one way of looking at this question of lifespan changes with age. What if you wanted to do it a different way, that you didn't want to wait for a child to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years old and follow that child throughout time? Is there a different way of looking at age effects in acquiring language, or a different variable? Yes, there is. A cross-sectional study looks, again, at different groups of people all within the same point in time. So, for example, here in this graph, we are looking at the occurrence of major depression in adolescents of various ages, 12 to 17, all within the same year, 2009. So here you look at age 12, 13, 14, etc., and the dark purple are male, the light purple are female, and the incidence of depression here. So, again, we are getting at the main topic of looking at how age affects a certain developmental aspect, in this case not language acquisition but a mood disorder, but we're doing it in different ways. Longitudinally follows a group of people throughout time, whereas cross-sectionally we get different age groups studied at the same time. This is basically what's illustrated here for the first kind longitudinal research. You get the same people, same participants throughout time. So participants are studied at time 1, time 2, time 3, when they're 2, 4, 6 years old, etc., longitudinally. Or if you want to take a different approach, different people are studied all within the same year. So, for example, all within the year 96 or 2016, you look at participants of 2 years of age, of 4 years of age, of 6 years of age. So they're different people. What do you get from these different types of research? Well, as I mentioned earlier, there are different advantages and disadvantages to these different types of research. With longitudinal studies, as you can imagine, they're really time consuming and expensive because you have to follow people for a long time. But they do allow for an examination of continuity because they are the same people. So are they still showing the same characteristics, or is there a shift? Cross-sectional studies, on the other hand, are more time and cost effective because you're measuring everybody in the same period, but they can't address this continuity because they are looking at different people. That is, in a nutshell, research design. Catch you on the next